Hey ladies, it's HINA here at Rebalance Physical Therapy in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and on the main line in Narberth, Pennsylvania. And today I want to talk to any of you guys who've been diagnosed with something called vaginismus. Now, weird term, what is it? Obviously we know it has the word vagina in it, so it has something to do with that. But vaginismus is a condition that actually just simply means spasming of the muscles that are in the vagina. Now, I know some of you guys who are listening to this video might be like, I didn't even know I had muscles down there, let alone know that there could be spasmed muscles down there. But yes, you can have spasming of the muscles of the vagina called the pelvic floor muscles. Now, I want to show you what they actually look like, and I have plenty of other videos that kind of go over the anatomy of what the pelvic floor looks like, but for simplicity, we're just going to look at this model over here. Now, this is a picture of the spine with the rib cage, with the pelvis over here, and these are the hip joints. Now, inside this pelvis, okay, now the pelvis is right here, which is this elephant-eared bone with this cobra-type head. If you look down into this cavity, there lies a bunch of muscles in there that's not shown in this model. However, I have a photo right here that shows the picture of the pelvis as well as the muscles that are inside the pelvis. And these muscles right here can be a real pain because they can become spasmed and tight, and they can cause a lot of pain and discomfort. And usually what you might feel is maybe discomfort with intercourse, it feels tight. Maybe you went and had a gynecologic exam and it's uncomfortable, or maybe even trying to wear a tampon, it's uncomfortable. So all of those things can kind of be signs of that you might have some spasming of the muscles down there. Now, usually your GYNs typically may notice this and they might tell you that you have some of this going on, but many times or often GYNs will not tell you that this is what is going on. And it's unfortunate, but they just don't. And so maybe that's why you're watching this YouTube video right now. So basically, why do you get this? Why is this happening? So there can be many reasons why this happens. It can be anything, just like, you know, like when you have a tight muscle in your neck, right? It could be due to you're not using your muscles right. There's an imbalance between maybe the head, the shoulder, and so you get these tight knots here in your upper trap muscle. It could be that you're stressed, and that kind of triggers off muscle tightness. Well, the same reasons can happen to these muscles inside the pelvis. Stress can actually increase tone in this muscle. Again, if you have imbalances in your hip, in your back, and in your pelvis, that can create spasming of these muscles. Maybe if you're developing vaginismus after having a baby, that can be due to a lot of different imbalances or gripping within those muscles. Sometimes over-exercising, especially people who go to like boot type classes or heavy weightlifters, bodybuilders, CrossFitters. Some of these muscles can become overly tight. And when that happens, it can cause spasming and pain and all the other things that I told you. So that could be some of the reasons. That it can be caused just from like your external posture and things like that. But in other ways, you can develop vaginismus also from having chronic urinary tract infections, chronic yeast infections, or any type of chronic inflammatory process that might be going on in the pelvis. So sometimes things like colitis, GI symptoms that are inflammatory, endometriosis, all those sorts of things can cause spasming of these muscles. And so they can, you know, when this kind of happens, if you have, if you're not having any more UTIs or it's gone, or you're not having any more yeast infections and it's gone, and you're still having pain in this area, then this could be what might be going on. Now, obviously, what do you do about it? Is there anything you can do? So later on, I'm going to be putting in some self-help tips, and you might even be able to scroll through some of my other YouTube videos that teaches you how to release the pelvic floor. But I'll get into more specifics later. I haven't created that video yet. But ultimately, what you do need to do is have this appropriately evaluated by a physical therapist that specializes in the pelvic floor. And usually, if you Google search pelvic floor physical therapist in, you know, whatever zip code or area that you are in, you might be able to find some that are in your area. Now, this not all pelvic floor therapists or, you know, clinicians that say they do pelvic floor therapy know how to treat it correctly. So you really want to do your research and make sure you find a physical therapist that really knows how to treat this holistically and integrated with the spine and the hip and the pelvis, and they understand how all of these conditions can kind of go together. Seeking out an evaluation and treatment from a physical therapist can be life-changing. You know, this is what we do a lot of our day, and so I can tell you, you know, you can see some significant improvements, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not treatable, or that you're just going to have to live with it, or that it's in your head. So anyway, I hope that helps. And again, look for some of the videos that will be upcoming where we show you some things that you can do to release your own pelvic floor. And in the interim, if you have any questions, you can always go to our website, which is rebalancept.com. So that's REBALANCEPT.com. And you can shoot me an email and just let me know what questions you have. And I'll be happy to answer them for you. So I hope that shed some light on some of you guys who might be diagnosed with this or feel like you might be suffering from it, and why it happens and what you can do about it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.